With over 500,000 trees and shrubs already planted and growing, it's easy to forget you are in the city. We don't just say, we do. It's the Stain City way.
Anele mdoda, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Anele. Happy birthday to you.
Hello and welcome to Real Talk with me, Anele. Can you say this now? I cannot. It's my birthday. Is it at 31? No. Is it at 32? No. Is it at 33? Yes! So I have a special guest joining me today. He is from a very musical family. Hails from the dusty streets of Kwa-Nabuhle, Nabuhle, Anele, in the Eastern Cape. I said it, Eastern Cape. And at a very young age, he just knew that music was what he wanted to do. He made history as the first black member of the famous Drakensberg Boys Choir during apartheid. I think you might have guessed what I'm talking about. I'll carry on. He reached the semi-finals of the Show to Fame in 1986 at the tender age of 11. He was one of the members of the legendary TKZee, one of my all-time favorite groups. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome into your space Mzwandile Zwai Bala, musical composer, producer, arranger, singer, musical genius, no matter the genre. Hello.
Who are you talking about?
You.
So, I'm on your show.
You are here, okay?
Yes.
With your indigo child.
Yeah, I'm indigo childing.
We need to talk about that because when I think indigo, I think watershed. Do you remember watershed? You're my little indigo girl.
Indigo girl.
It's a beautiful world with you around. And then why indigo child?
When I actually read up on it, in fact, the guy I was working closely with it, everything that he explained and everything we were reading up was like really about me. And when you check I'm not a person that's out there, but I'm very dreamy. They said I didn't do well at school. I didn't do well because I was always dreaming all the time. So I guess I just, as I was coming to really get to know myself, I thought, no, I'm the epitome of indigo child. Read up on indigo children.
Isn't indigo like purple, indigo, the color?
Yeah, the color. But they are indigo children.
Okay,
yeah.
We are going to read up about it, most certain. Everyone's Googling at their houses right now.
Yeah, it's very important.
Children. Ndize, first single. But now, when I heard Ndize, to me it's like, Ndize, Ndize, Haibo, which is what we used to say.
Ndize.
That's the first single. What's that about?
Actually, ukhona umfana umqwathi, Mavo Solomon. He just came to me one time. I was still working with Prayu, and he said, hey, you know what, Mnacho and it's cool because everyone wants to sing, everyone wants to be in front of a CD. He said, I write songs. And I said, but everyone needs you. People need to support content,
That's beautiful.
So, and I listened to the song. I listened to the songs, never mind the voice, whatever. When I checked out the song, I was like, this is very special talent.
Okay.
So, I
and
had
then
to
you
put
were
it
there.
on. Yeah.
So can you perform Ndize for us?
Yes,
Please.
yes, absolutely.
See what I do for you. Look what I organized for you. Let's get this party started with Zwai. He is going to be singing Ndize for us. Turn the volume up. 3, 2, 1.
But wait, but I cannot. Ndilapha ibirthday yakho yintanga kaYesu ngokufundile.
33, Jesus age.
I have to just I'm sure I can sing better than Trevor. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Anele Deborah Mdoda. Happy birthday to you.
Okay, yes.
Birthday.
That's the best one I've heard today. Don't tell anyone I said that. Don't tell anyone that I said that.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
No. Okay, humility clearly was not packed in the bag this morning, but can we get Ndiza now?
Absolutely.
3, 2, 1, hit it.
Kukude ekhaya ndilahlekile ndifuna ugoduka khangela phaya nakuthembekile yena uligoduka wayesithi ndize nobalana siyadlala sesimbalwa sendihambe emazweni kodwa etinaha ndiyakhumbula sikhula kwamakhulu kungekho mina engamnandanga singayiboni nalo nhlupheko imini singafani kwezinye singalali zizililo imincili sasidlala emlanjeni noba ungakanani sade sakhula sasisithi ndize nobolana siyaqala ukubala sesidlala emlanjeni kodwa ndoyika namabhinqa ndiyikuplida lalisithi litshoni ilanga ungazi ongayigqibanga nangomso yenyimini sasisithi ndize nobolana ndize nobolana siyadlala sesimbalwa ndize nobolana ndize nobolana sasisithi ndize nobolana sasisithi ndize nobolana siyaqala ukubala
And welcome back to Real Talk with me, Anele. As you know, it's my birthday. Thank you for all the messages that you've been sending from the early morning to those that you're sending through on Twitter right now. So, as you've seen, he performed. Zwai Bala's with us today, and he made the day extra special by performing Happy Birthday. I mean, when did Zwai Bala ever sing you Happy Birthday? No, you can't recall, ne? Exactly. Because it didn't happen. It happened for me. And then he gave us the first single off his album, The Indigo Child with Ndize, Beauty, Beauty, Beauty. That was moving. movement.
Yeah, no, I like to say I'm in the business of tears.
Oh, it's that. Is that what? It's the falsetto. And it's that little thing you do.
No,
where
it's just like you need to. It's not just about the music notes. I'm not talking about myself. I think a lot of music is like just music, but sometimes you need to move people.
That's very true.
You need to trigger something. We've got something special. We're working with music. We've got
Something
that at our disposal.
that can
Let's use-
alter people's emotions.
So it needs to move. When I'm working on it in the studio, I need to go there. So. Yeah, well, it's a
Do you listen
connection.
to your own music, like when it's done and it's recorded and you put it in your car?
I listen to it a lot, like just after I've worked on it. Like there's still it, but
Yeah.
there's always like new things to work on. And
Oh, okay. Because I mean, let's say the songs that you were making in '97. Do you have them where sometimes you're like, you know what, I'm gonna get in my car today and
no.
Really?
In fact, in my car, I don't listen to music actually.
What? Are you a talk radio
Yeah.
person?
I think with me, because the moment I listen to music, I start working.
What is it? You cringe?
I start working. Like I'm thinking of the music,
And has it always been like
analyzing.
that?
Yeah.
Or did it only become like that when you started making money from it?
No, it's just like it's on my mind a lot, even when there isn't music happening. So like my mind is always working with music. I'm hearing stuff, I'm working things out, So I like my news and talk, and
Because that's when you get to switch off.
yeah, and focus on something.
I hear what you're saying, because like for us on radio, when you go on holiday, you need to go to a place that doesn't speak English. Because as soon as you hear a radio station, you listen and then you start like concocting and planning and
it's
shifting
like-
yourself
yeah,
around.
Yeah,
whereas
exactly.
The only
That's
place...
actually a good idea. Like,
Yes, you're like, oh wow, that's a good thing to do. I should try that. And you write it down and then you're
Exactly.
recording it. So outside of talk radio in your car, where can you switch off? And just like park your brain.
I don't know. I can't think of it because my brain is constantly working. And it's not just about, it's gone way beyond music now. I'm forever just analyzing things. What's the better way of just getting the overall solutions to these things?
When people approach you, right, artists, because you are like this maestro, so they're like, oh, Zwai, please, I want to work with you.
Yeah.
What is the determining factor of whether you're going to work with them or not?
I think a lot of people don't know what it is they really want.
Oh.
They actually don't know what they want. I'm like, yeah, Manish, I want to discuss something with you. What do you want to discuss? Yeah, music. Music, what music?
Yeah.
Or, yeah, here's a song. Just listen to it and tell me what you think. Yeah, well, not that one. Yeah, tell me what you think. It's like, okay, now I must listen and then give you a whole report. But it's important. Must I give you a notes, a report on the creative or the business? What is it that you want to do?
Okay.
Like, okay, and am I listening to your voice, or I'm listening to the song or the production, or I can listen to, like I listened to this, I was listening to the song. Yeah,
okay.
And what is it? So you need to be able to know what it is that you want.
That
And
you
people don't
want.
like the hard talk that I give them, but it's everything going forward.
Do you think because you make it look so easy, and that's what I've always picked up about you, you just make it look so easy that's why people think they can just be like, come on, Melapa, man, and then let me know what you think?
Yeah, no, maybe the performance, but still it's like, in the US they call it the business. They
Ain't
call
no
it,
business like show business.
Yeah. It's like, when I came back to the business. Because it's so massive, especially today with the digital world and just content and just, and what, I know when I'm looking for a powerful singer, but I know when I'm looking for a particular character. Like when I put Jamali together.
Okay,
When you put
yes.
Jamali together, Jackie's not the great singer. It's like, yeah, but aren't you guys looking for singers? But no, we're looking for a package.
Yes, and because she may not be the most powerful singer amongst the three
Yes,
girls,
but it's not about
she's
singing.
definitely got the most X factor
Yes,
amongst them.
exactly.
She's got like that thing about her.
And you need to engage. I know that I've been in groups, I do interviews, so it's about like what you need. Sometimes people are boring, sometimes they can't talk anything. Instead they just sing. Rather you just buy the CD, you know what I'm saying? So how do you put something that is going to be interesting, and what is that you're trying to achieve,
Actually, you're the best person to ask this. So Justin Bieber, right? He was here recently. And I went to his concert and the kid gave a lackluster performance, like, baby. So luckily he was on backtracks, so it kind of felt like we're in a club listening to his songs, and he happened to
You're
be
saying
there.
luckily.
Yes, because I'm an optimist, so I always look for the situation to be salvaged,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And I was like, okay, And people were upset. Oh, he's lip syncing. He's not a real musician. And my thing was, there's certain artists whose job is done. Well, not even artist. He's a singer. He's not an artist. There's certain singer whose job is done by the time their song plays on radio, and that's what they're there for. They're there for hype and for radio play. By the time they go to stage, then you're just there to also sing along.
Yeah.
Then there's a different kind of performer, like an artist. You can't go to Justin Bieber and expect Prince. Now, when I say things like that, do you, the musician in you, what like, do you short circuit? Do you think
Yeah, you see, again,
Yeah.
it's different conversations. There are people who really work hard.
Yeah.
You know, people who work hard.
Yeah.
And really what it is that you want. Like, do you just want people to hear your great voice? Or do you want to keep learning and be there and keep growing?
Yeah.
Or do you just want to be famous? Because there are people who are we are, always say we are all in this business for different reasons. And especially today, like, I know, we're not here for the same, which is cool as long as you know what you're in it for.
True.
When I look at someone like Asha, I mean, the guy works so hard. Like, you can see it over the years. And me, I listen to the way he sings, where he's come from, and just how seriously. I met him the first time he came here.
2000 and, I'll tell you, Matrica was 2001, 2002, 2002 November.
Yeah, those days. And I remember I was coming out to dinner with, BMG guys, whatever, but he was going to be going to bed at 8. You know, because he was here, like, he knows that he needs to
I'm
go
working.
and sleep. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I mean, Beyonce, you know, when I've judged, like, pop stars or whatever, there are many people who think they sound like Beyonce, but you don't know how much work goes into that. Like, it's a lot of work, and you don't know what it takes. So, and also there's age, there's experience. You know, like, some people's like, I don't blame them. It's like, they're young, but they're going to learn one day.
There we go. I'm glad you said there's age and there's experience, because for me, Drakensberg Boys Choir is professional singing. Do you know?
Yeah.
Because there's just pressure around it. It is the Drakensberg Boys Choir. So when you go there at 11 years old, are you already in this mode, I'm working mode?
Yeah, you see, you need to, I don't know, try and apply certain things I learn on other respects of my life. Not everyone that went to Drakensberg became professional singers. In fact, very few who actually took it professionally. But there's other stuff that they took from the medium. It's like if you were in the army, you become a neat person. Doesn't matter what line of young taller. It's the certain things that you apply. Yes. So what we learned was discipline and sometimes just respect. Like if you grew up in a Xhosa home where it's hectic, it's like, mna nkhuliswanga this way. I was brought up this way to have respect. Like my kids, I've got white friends like, yeah, no, I'm John. And like my kid can't think because now it's just gonna go John. Whether he's okay with it, like no, it's not John.
You are Uncle John.
Yeah,
I hear.
Because we're umntana walapha and we have these rules. So it's different respects. It's what you apply to your life. And
I like
you know, we like to look at music. Music is always like, yeah, but hey, music, I don't know. But it's like, dude, especially a business, you're still selling a product. So it's the same principles that apply. Not because this one has TV, it's got all those things. It's the same thing. You need to be kind to people. Not because, manja, your job puts you on a screen and now you are better than someone else whose job doesn't put them on the screen.
Yeah. At the end of the day, it's someone who's selling a Coca-Cola and somebody who's selling themselves. It's the same thing.
How do you sell it?
There's a product. Because here's the thing, if Coca-Cola is nasty to you, you're not going to buy it again.
Exactly.
You know? But
exactly.
There's a certain level where celebrities, you're allowed to treat people any which way and it must be fine.
You know, and it's also sad for me when I meet people, and I love people, like I like meeting people, you know? And someone will be like, geez, I didn't expect you to be nice. And I'm like, isn't that just sad? People didn't expect, and it's like, why? No, because you're famous. Oh, is that what's attached to famousness?
Oh. Speaking of famous, we're going to take an ad break, but I remember somebody telling me that when you move from Drakensberg Boys Choir to go to St. Stithians, even before you arrived in St. Stithians was like, yo, there's the musical genius on the way. Things will never be the same again. We'll tell you that story after the break when we come back with Zwai Bala. In the meantime, you can send us your 20-second voice notes, and no longer than 20 seconds, guys, please, man, on the Real Talk WhatsApp line, or tweet us anything that you'd like to share with either myself, the birthday girl, or with Zwai Bala. We'll be back after this. And welcome back to Real Talk. In 2011, this man was nominated for a Grammy as a producer and composer on the Soweto Gospel Choir's album Grace. Apart from creating music for film, television, award shows and live concerts, Zwai Bala also launched a successful solo career in gospel music. It's hard to not mention 1997. Three guys, listen, I don't think you understand. You know, the thing is, Zwai takes us lightly because he was on the other side of TKZee. The rest of us were on this side here. We were on the receiving end of wanting to wear a sporty, be in a caravel, whilst we were playing Palafala, which then became the national anthem across South Africa and the diaspora. I don't think you understand. I don't think you understand though. And my friends, when they're like, when you see Zwai Bala, do you remind him that to us, he's everything? And this started now at St. Studians.
Oh, you mean the group?
TKZee.
Yeah.
So Kabelo tells us that him and Tukulo are already there, right?
Yeah.
And they heard that this guy is coming and this guy is amazing. And Kabelo was like, so we're trying to concoct ways to make him our friend immediately. He's like, we're like, is he gonna think we're cool? Is he gonna think we're good enough?
Wow.
He just has to like us, okay? And then you get there. I wanna know your first meeting, because obviously now they are in impressing mode. And you don't know any better. You just came from Drakensberg.
Yeah, and I was very uncool. I was very uncool.
Exactly.
It was just interesting because, you know, I think I must have been one of that first group of Maltese, if you get what I'm saying.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, well.
You were the...
So, and having been at the Drakensberg, so I don't know other guys who can be the same age having been in this environment. So when I get to St. Stadiums, there are guys my age, like I don't know, because I'm quasi with Tibansale, like,
yeah.
We are one. So I was really finding them very interesting, especially Kabelo. Like Kabelo was just like so funny and like, you know, and they're always jolly. And I used to talk a lot about Drakensberg, and it was him that said, and I used to call it Drakies.
Oh.
So he says, listen, you must get over Drakies, eh? Like, this is Saints, bro. Like, you must get over this Drakies thing. And I thought to myself, you know, but he's right, you know. And then the one time, I love laughing. I like spending time with people that make me laugh. You know what I'm saying? Just like, especially like witness.
Yeah.
So Kabelo found him interesting. So one day I said, yo, Maraja, he's like, no. Tukulo. And Tukulo was just this chubby boy who I just never used to take standard 6. I mean, like he's always just, you know, running around.
Funny.
Funny. He doesn't make you laugh. He doesn't make you laugh.
I got that so late. It doesn't make you laugh at all.
It doesn't make you laugh. Yo, and I think that's why we've managed to, even throughout all this,
you guys can still laugh.
Because we started off as good friends. I mean, those 3 years, you know, that the whole TKZee rain thing was not a very long time. It was actually, dude, we released Palafala at the end of Palafala.
Yeah.
I mean,
Palafala
at the end of 97.
Yeah.
And then Shibobo, mid-98. We're still working towards our album. So all these singles that were coming out were like from our forthcoming album.
Oh.
And then
Halloween,
which was on the 31st of October, 98. It wasn't even a year since Palafala.
Oh my word.
You know?
And then when you guys came back, it was TKZee family.
And then those TKZee felt like I was great. You know? So it wasn't a very long time, but that time was very hectic. I mean, like, it was really some of the best years of my life, but also like the most hectic. It was so stressful.
Stressful how? Time on the road?
No, just dealing with each other. And I think, and also just like dealing with, because they've always been younger than me and I had to pull them, you know what I'm saying, and understand where they were at. Because I wasn't, low puff date, you know, and where's born, it was like, yo, so like I followed their call, even the all stars and all the stuff, I didn't know anything, and those dickies, so I'm like, okay, this is the vibe. But then it's got these other things, dude, this is not puff date. You know, you're still dealing with real people. So like, from a responsibility point of view.
But also, and I mean, you saying it now, is that all of you were big personalities. Because the thing about a group is you find, you know, one who's the big personality and then the other one who's talented but is there to make the other ones shine. With you guys, all three of you at any given point could be the biggest personality.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
Yeah. But it's important just to think in the context of a group.
Yeah.
You know, my favorite group of all time is TKZee. I know it's very boring.
TKZee.
Yeah. So
I'm not familiar with TKZee.
Okay, TKZee is these guys that sing a cappella from the US, but like the biggest a cappella group. One of the brothers is Brian McKnight's brother.
Okay.
And they've got I don't know how many Grammys.
Okay, so they're your favorite people.
Yes, I mean like just the music. So and I remember spending time with them in Durban the first time they came to South Africa. And these guys had been. This was 2002, and their first album was released in 1988. There's 6 of these guys.
Cheapers, and they're still together.
Yeah. And Mervyn Warren, he had left the group, but he's the guy that did Sister Act 2, all that great stuff. Hallelujah. He's the guy that does
And
all that
Happy
stuff.
Day.
Yeah.
Sing because.
Yeah, he's the guy that
wow.
puts. I mean, it's crazy, man.
Glory,
So,
glory, Lord.
yeah,
Sorry,
sure.
I just went on a tangent there. Thank you.
Yeah.
Come back to me.
So when and ngiyabuza ukuthi and you know we're on the brink of like engathi TKZee yaphela, so I had to just get some secrets. Dude, how do you keep it together? And David Thomas said to me, you know, you need to, when you're in a group, you need to be able to separate individual vision from group vision.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
And again, it comes with maturity in terms of each shortcomings omnye umntu. You need to understand where they're coming from and whether they need to be helped or they need to be told what they are Mickey Mouse at and what is the desired outcome. What must it do?
Okay, so after you address an issue, what do you want it to do? Do you want it to end this, what you're doing? Or
what do you want?
To grow it.
Oh, yeah, bon? But then when you just think about yourself, you know, who's going to make me? It's like, okay, so you don't, so then what happens? Yeah, bon? So, and it was dynamics, and we never had anything before that. And then I was a teacher at War School Randburg.
Okay. Music teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so like I was the only one making money and we were always hanging together. Namanga golf like a jumbo. And the guys were always with me. So I was the one that was making a bit of money. I was singing covers. Yeah, like, you know, and I'd get 200 Rand and then we go and drink it at Morgan's Cat after signing it. So it was like just having these guys, but there was this dream that we had, you know. And it was very tough at times. But then when the success came, I didn't know. I was just wanting to be successful. I didn't know about the money and how much it was going to be.
So
I didn't even know that we were big until Kabelo said to me, dude, we big. The one day. Yeah, so what I'm coming to is that, like, but to deal with that, I mean, the guys couldn't even sign their own contracts. They were too young.
They're too young.
You know, your first car is an M3.
Ooh.
And you're from Soweto, and it's like, and doing stuff that's never been done before. It was just...
You're walking into stadiums with hundreds and thousands of people and they're losing their mind to you guys. Then if it was difficult to manage 3 people, to manage yourselves as 3 people, why the family? Because I looked at that CD cover and it looked crowded.
Yeah, in fact, we were actually talking about this the other day. When you look at that CD cover, there's in the middle, there's a shot, I think in Nansik, the middle thing,
yeah.
where we're all standing on the rooftop. They tells you exactly where we were at. Amachita, everyone is this side. Me and Luisa are like there on the side. I'm so stressed. Yabana, this guy, this one is from that time. Like, it was just like so draining and just like so
Because to manage so many people,
like,
I mean,
and I had to. In fact, I was doing a lot of the work. Like I was doing all
because
the work.
back to that thing you were talking about, the discipline of being in a choir. That can't leave you. So even when you're like, you know what, I'm gonna do nothing, I'm gonna just let this happen, and if it falls on the ground, I don't care. You almost like, as it's falling to the ground, you're like, oh, this is not me.
Yeah, Joe. And the thing is, I want to help everyone, and I just my life lessons I learned at that time. I didn't know that people could feel different to you. Did you get what I'm saying? Like, no, but to you, this makes sense, and it's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
But you cannot expect people to be at the same level as you,
Yeah.
to be going through the same thoughts as you, to be reasoning the same way as you at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, one?
Now, all of these things that you said even before at the same time are like big differentiating factors,
yeah,
and
what?
then you want it to happen at the same time.
So like the realities of life, I learned there. So it was just very hectic to manage.
Did that teach you how to say no?
I think more than just, I still don't find it easy to say no. Rather, I guide you
To another yes.
I just rather find another way of helping you out. So I don't know, dude. I just learned harsh reality.
Oh man. And on the other side where we were losing our minds.
Yeah, and that was a pressure.
Yeah, oh.
Because there's all this.
There's 5 million Aneles, and they want more from us, gents. Listen, time for a quick ad break. Stay tuned. This is Real Talk on SABC3, where the stage is yours. We'll be back in a mo. And we're back. Zwai was telling us about the time when he was part of the trio and then the 16 TKZee, his experiences and singing. Now, okay, the group dynamics, has its highs, has its lows. I'm hearing a lot of management problems. When you sing with your brothers, is it easier because you are from the same home? So, what do you want? How do you want it? When do you want it? The structure in which you wanted, the discipline. Is it easier because it's with your brothers? Or because you're older, you can bully them.
Okay. Just going back to the TKZee thing, I was talking about but I was incredibly proud of Kabelo when he came. It's it pays off. It may not happen today, but it's even if it's after 4 years and people grow up, it's if it meant just getting to this point and you're a better person,
yeah.
I'm very happy.
Yeah.
So,
and he found his discipline.
You know what I'm saying? And I've always believed in what he has and what he's about. And and that, there you go.
Yeah.
So anyway, now coming to I've always tried to teach. I started traveling the world from a very young age, and being this black person that was seeing, whenever I see something exciting, I want my people to see them as well.
Yeah.
Those things. I want everything that I learn, I need to go back and teach them.
Oh, that's
so
amazing.
whenever I learn something, it's because I don't want them to go through the same things that I've gone through. At least I was so happy that by the time I was working with my brothers, I knew how to take care of a situation in a business. We're making business decisions. It's got flip all to do with brotherhood and all that stuff. We know we're making business decisions. So, and get people's involvements. And you're also working with, it's emotional intelligence and working with people. How do you make them comfortable? I'll be very honest with you. Growing up, I was very hectic with, there's no father, and the payana's kumkhulu wakhe umntana ngumntana. So our relationship was very strained, very much even classes here at Drakensberg, because hey, not phambi kwabelungu, not hey wena yenza so,
yeah, don't embarrass the family.
So and there was that mhlawumbe angakwazi uthetha nami about certain things, and at some point I just went up to him, I'm dude, I'm hey dude, you know what, I'm really sorry about us, but unfortunately, our relationship here to be like that anymore. We need to be closer now. You're older now, and I hope that hasn't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So work on.
Because you've got very different textures, you and Loyiso.
Yeah.
But and when my sisters and I speak about it,
I checked your.
Oh.
Yeah, I think I was like, I'm 11.
You're an idiot. You're an idiot. So when my sister and I talk about it, when we're looking at you guys, it's almost as if because you didn't grow up in what we know as white schools, your texture, although you fit in and you made sense and you succeeded in them, your texture is different. It's like you learned your basics elsewhere, and that's why they're still with you. Whereas Loyiso is it's a little bit of everything, and not that it's wrong. Not that it's wrong at all. It's just that it's very different. Your essence is Xhosa.
Yes.
Yes. That's where you embark from at all times. And Loyiso's essence is it's world. It's not even worldly. It's very English.
Urban.
It's urban. There we go. Something like that. It's almost like what people say about Thabo Mbeki. It's he's too English.
Yes.
He's too English. Does he even slaughter?
Yes.
Can he slaughter? Yes. So that's what I'd pick up, and I think that would cause some friction along the way.
Yeah, and it's Yeah, man, but you know what? The way I look at friction, you know what I'm saying? It's like, if a person knows the right thing, they wouldn't be doing the wrong thing.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? They're like, yeah, when we so and so, it's like, no, if there's no understanding, it's just getting them to better understand. Sometimes I can't be imposing myself because I'm the older brother or whatever I think, because we learn the same lesson but in different ways.
And different times.
But within Bala Brothers, it's, you know, I've always just, hey man, I count blessings, you know? I look at what is achievable and so much bigger when we're together, and just this thing is just beautiful. You know, I've said, guys, Bala Brothers can be bigger than the biggest thing in the world.
Yes.
Young Tol?
Yes.
3 African boys.
Yes.
And their brothers. And Abakuli. They don't sing.
They don't sing. They don't sing. They don't sing.
They don't sing. And also because what was also really interesting about our first record is that we were taught, all 3 of us, even though Pelo was born the year I was leaving the Drakensberg.
Oh, wow.
But he managed to go to the Drakensberg and be taught by the same teacher that taught me and Loyiso and him. So then on the first record, sometimes it's hard to know who's singing there and there.
Because
like it's so perfect. Like even the T's and the S's and the breaths come at exactly the same time. So a rehearsal to us is just a bit of a note there and there. We know exactly, we phrase the same. And there's some science, some recovery or research, whatever, that proves that when you're genetically connected, the harmony itself, the sound of it is like...
It's magic.
Yeah, it's magic.
It's magic.
And that's stuff I didn't know before.
Because ideally, you know, you sound like harmony when your voices sound, can fit into each other because they sound the same.
Yeah.
So Loyiso's voice and Pelo's voice is the closest voice that can ever sound like yours. The way it was made. So obviously when 3 of you come together...
You know? So it's something very special. And I mean, we really released 1 record back in 2006. And it may be hard for people to believe, but I think, not in terms of popularity, but I could say sometimes that I was probably more successful with Bala Brothers than I was with TKZee.
I agree with you. It certainly reached more people.
Yeah, and it was set up from the word go as a business. Whereas we didn't know how to charge, we didn't know how to take care of this thing as a business. There was no, in TKZee days, because we never had pioneers, never had people in front of us who had done this before. Always make example of Josh Groban and Danny K. But Joe, we've been paying tax for a while.
Exactly.
It's like Tina, we didn't know how much it is.
The first time you hear of tax is when tax is calling you. Like, wait a minute, how'd you get my number? And they're like, we've been expecting you.
Which is actually also sad in a way, because they choose not to acknowledge the history.
That there is that.
The history. They could have said, gents, we don't want you to get into trouble. Come see us as a South African Revenue Service. And we'll advise you.
It's like they kind of wait for you.
Yeah, because then who are you going to trust with, gents, I'll look after your money? Who are you going to trust? We're making so much money.
And also, you're there to perform. You're there to write music. You're there to be taking care of the creative side. But I mean, now you've got the business angle down.
Yeah, but it's hard, eh?
I can imagine, but you look like you're fine with it.
Yeah, no cooler with.
Because you have a wife and kids. You don't have a choice. You know, you can't just be...
And just an understanding.
And not being scared of the music monster.
Yeah, but it needs to... Everything I do has to make sense. Just that my ideas are like so big, like I want to save Africa. No, like literally. Like I'm building schools and stuff. Like I'm writing out programs or models that are right for teaching an African child. Because when you say, whenever people are like, yeah, you know, I did start doing the piano, but I dropped out because they teach you Mozart. But you saw a Lebu Matosa or whatever, Tandiswa show, and you saw the guy that was playing the keys, you're like, geez, I want to play the keys. Okay, there's a music teacher. No, it's ding. The scales, it's like, hey, this is not what I want to do. So,
chop and all of that stuff.
But the thing is, being African is like, it's one of the biggest blessings.
Yeah.
Because we can do what people from Europe and America can do, but they cannot do what you can do. But they can't do what you can do.
Yeah.
They can't. Manje, when you
amalgamate and you put it together.
Young Tol.
Listen, this hour goes way too quickly. And when I'm learning like this, the wisdom, we'll be right back. Unyani Silas. what a way to spend my birthday. The great company of Zwai Bala keeping me company. We're here for the last time. What's the most important stage you've ever been on for you?
Jeez, stage.
Yeah. So like the most, where the audience was just like, where you walked away and you like, okay, that moment right there was godly.
Yeah, okay, let me not be deep, but I think 1999 Summer Awards was something very special. I really, seriously, I don't want to sound modest, whatever. I didn't know how big to get. I didn't know. I knew people love us. We're making great music. I was focusing on the music.
Yeah.
But when we've just received one award, as we're walking out, TKZee, it's like, that's why no Tom, no.
No sister sevenkileni.
I thought that was really cool, and that's the night that I launched Loyiso's career. You know, we were supposed to sing "We Love This Place," and I said, no, I won't sing it D-sharp, but there's this one, on music, on music's biggest night.
Yeah.
And we were playing with Moses Mlele Kwa.
Oh.
You know.
So for you, that.
Yeah, man. But that's the night also it went because that night.
After that night, it was fights. No, someone's coming to my room. No, yours.
Yeah, so.
I don't know. I think all of you are better for it. Who were you most amazed? Okay, I know you say just South Africa as a whole, but a specific person, were you most amazed to find that a specific person is a fan of you?
Oh, you told me my word. Oh yeah, actually, when Yuma Sagela asked me to produce his record.
Oh, there we go.
I had written a song when I was 22, whatever, and it was like I just gotten my computers and stuff, and there was a muted trumpet. The only trumpet I knew was Yuma. It was always just him trumpet. And I did meet him 2 years later. I'm like, bro, you nice to meet you. You know, I wrote this song. Do you play muted trumpet? You know, a muted trumpet. And he said to me, I haven't played muted trumpet in 25 years. And I was like, okay, well, and I forgot about the song. So when he asked me 7 years later to produce his record, I said, remember I told you about the song? He went and bought a mute and started practicing so he could play that song.
Wow.
Now, 9 years down the line, I'm sitting at the SABC studios, and there's Hugh Segela playing my song, and he's killing it. That for me was like, wow. You know, there's nothing to, when someone says, who would you like to meet? I said, I've met everyone I've wanted to meet.
I'm fine.
I've met everyone I've wanted to meet. And there was time, 96 so, you imagine you want to be a producer and produce like Sharon D, Bob Mapena. But then when I looked, it's like, geez, I've gone past so much, you know?
Do you think you are the person now that people say they want to meet?
I don't think people know really. If those that know me, they would want to meet me.
Oh,
they would want to meet me.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I definitely agree with that. And if I say this, will you agree or disagree? For you, because music is people think it's a very uncertain thing to do. You know, parents are like,
they come to me and say, hey man, my niece wants to do this thing, but why? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I want to make this clear to parents and kids. When it's like, no, that kid mustn't come with alone. You must be there so you understand. But people cannot package this thing and say, this is the business. If you like singing, but this kid is dropping school, whatever. So those are things I'm working towards, just
because I can see you want to put a professionalism and a proper...
and it must make sense. I understand why they this thing is just, when I look at it, and really, what is it?
And for you, to me, it looks like the well will never run dry. This is what you're going to be doing forever.
This is what I'm going to be doing. Like singers must be able to get credit and home loans. Because you can check with it, they know what their business is and where they will be in 5 years' time. Yeah, so that's the vibe.
And, literally 40 seconds left, and I cannot close the show with you without mentioning this. One of my favorite moments, I think it was at the Metro FM Awards, and your wife came out on stage, and she used to be Melanie's son, and then she said, hi, I'm Melanie Bala. Yo, listen, we lost. I think you guys are, without your struggles, I mean, obviously everyone's got struggles. I like who you guys are together. I just like the way you complement each other, and I like the way Melanie's embraced us as Xhosa people, and she knows it and she gets it and she's raising it.
Yeah.
So whatever that is
You
happening,
know,
carry on.
people say, okay, I'm gifted. Okay, fine. What would you say? Like, if someone would say, what's your best gift? Like, what would you say is the one thing that you were blessed with? My wife is the biggest gift. Like, even to this day, we've been together 18 years, and it's like, even to this day, I still like go, wow, really, me? Baby, I love you.
Oh, what a day. Listen, that's all we have time for today, and I'm pretty sure that you are blown away. Thank you so much to my guest, Zwai Bala, for making today's show special, especially
No, hang on. It's even more special. I have a surprise for you.
Get-
Come, how's it going?
What? Oh my God! What is going on here?
You know, Beyonce couldn't make it for her birthday, so she
Okay.
asked me to come. So I'm here on her behalf.
So many good-looking men. Look at this, ladies. Look at this.
I'm surprised you're surprised. Only the cutters will make you the surprise.
How's the birthday been so far?
It has been my best birthday ever, like
Really?
ever. The only thing that's better than today was the day I was born.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I just felt so much love and such genuine, authentic, sincere love, and it showed me that I've had a good year with good people and I've done them well, and therefore they just look.
And you know why we love you? Because you always throw like the hottest party every time it's your birthday. And this year is no different.
That's cheeky.